So up till now, you've seen a lot of machinery, and what the machinery gets us is a level of repeatability. And we repeat everything on the back side of handmade so that we can sneak it up to the handmade tolerance, which is no tolerance at all. What I mean by that is if you make all the way to the production level, you're gonna have a plus minus variance that kind of gets into your fit and finish. That's something I don't want to, something that I don't make at this point. We still make a hand-finished, hand-fitted knife. So let me talk to you about hand finishing a little bit, okay? This is the part of the process where all of the machinery and all of that equipment to get us a basic foundation, this is where it kind of starts turning into something that somebody's proud to take out of their pocket and show to a friend, and proud to have in their pocket, and loves putting their hand on because their hand on because they got this warm human feel to it that machines really can't quite do yet. So what I wanted to talk about is handle finishing. Every part that your hand interacts with, and I'll talk a little bit about the blade finishing. I don't want to talk about grinding blades because that's a whole nother animal, and we're going to get into grinding blades, and I'll show you about how we grind blades. But we just, we got handles, we got through the water jet, and we got through the grinding, and we got through milling, and now the next step is the blades are now going to be getting hand ground, and the handles are getting their treatment. So I want to talk to you about that. Every single handle that you grab at Medford Knife and Tool has gone through one of two processes if it's made of titanium. It's either been water jetted out, it's had the holes put in it, and it's what we'd call a rough part, or it's been water jetted to what we call a near net size. It's had the holes put in it, and it's had the profile cleaned up at the same time. Those are one of two options. If you look at them, one's going to be shiny and one's going to be dull because it's still got the rough water jet edge. So you can see here, if we get a close-up, or if you're able to focus in on these, you'll see one that's very reflective and one that's not reflective. This one's got the tapered edge or the kerf of the water jet on it. This one's got this machined edge, perfectly square. Either one of these are still no good as a knife part because they still have to have all of the interactive part that meets your hand. It's all got to be contoured and shaped, chamfered, and cleaned up. We do a lot of knives this way, and we do a lot of knives this way. So it'll go through one of these two processes. This is really Jason's area where he focuses. He does a lot of other things for us, but he is a monster that's very fast and amazingly detailed. If you have one of our knives or get one of our knives and you get them in your hand, you're going to see chamfering around the side that looks like it was done by a machine. It looks like it's perfect. Well, it's because it was all done by a craftsman by hand, freehand, by eye. He's working on Proximas right now, and he's putting that little subtle chamfer around every single part on the knife. He's working on a finger wheel on our Burr King grinder right here, and these are all adjustable. You can set them up a bunch of different ways. So if it wasn't for this room, that room, and the next room that, in assembly when we get to there, if it wasn't for those two things, we wouldn't even be a knife company. We'd be a machine shop, water jet shop, grinding house. These guys on the craftsmanship that goes into grinding blades and making knives day after day, year after year, it's an amazing old world craft and skill set. It gives your knife, when you get it from our company, a unique look and feel to it, because the only people who are hand doing stuff like this are literally small garage makers, and we're doing it at a scaled up level, which is pretty cool. The core of what you'll see when you look at one of our knives, you're going to see a CNC controlled set of geometry. You're going to see a hand feel and control handle. It's been hand done by a craftsman, and it's got a feel that is organic, and it's hard to reproduce with a machine. And when you get the blades in, when you open it up, you start really inspecting the blades, you're going to see an abnormal level of symmetry, an abnormal level of perfection, and it's freehand done by hand. Doesn't mean at some point we won't go to production grinding at some point, and if we do, we're going to do it better than anybody. But I can tell you right now, if you line up 100 of our knives with 100 of just about anybody's knives in the business, You will find a level of symmetry, a level of artistic plunge line and shoulder, side bevel. You will find a level that is on the, it's way more on the artisan side than it is the factory production side. It is way more old-fashioned craftsman and crazy eye for detail. And anybody who comes through our facility and looks around, when they see this, guys who own companies go, how long did it take you to train these guys? Because they know this is the black magic of knives. Freehand making knives is it is the ultimate man skill, and it's the ultimate talisman of, you know, mankind. It's one of man's oldest tools, and it's so viscerally raw and real and organic. And when you look at them, there's things about them that you won't see anywhere else unless it's a true hand maker who's doing it, who doesn't use jigs and fixtures and all that. A lot of guys that make knives, they're into the mechanics of it. They're into the mechanism. They're into the machining, and I've always been into the craft of the blade. I'm into the elegance of the grind. I'm into grind lines that are perpendicular to the edges. I'm into this warm, lovely feel that you get. And the holes don't give the knife a feel. It just controls the swing. So I let CNC control my swing as far as where the holes are. It helps us to where we can make a better swing on a knife. But in the finishing of a knife, what you will see, this hand finishing that's done at every level is amazing, and it's what gives our knives a unique feel that sets us apart in a big crowd.